Hello and welcome. I am a hotel AI expert with extensive experience in modern hospitality operations and performance support. I am pleased to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. We look forward to supporting your professional growth in the hospitality industry. In this explainer, we will transform your understanding of cybersecurity from an IT problem into a core operational responsibility for every single frontline professional.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the modern digital frontline you're on every single day. Then, we'll get into how to spot threats that are designed to look harmless. After that, we'll talk about what it means to be the first line of defense, and, importantly, we'll cover the right way to respond if a breach does happen and how to handle things beyond just getting the systems back online.
All right, let's dive right in. We're starting with the environment you work in, because this is where everything happens. It's that unique place where five-star service and some of the hotel's biggest digital risks meet face-to-face.
Modern hotels aren't just buildings anymore. They're really complex digital ecosystems. Think about it. Your front desk is the nerve center. It's where the property management system, the point-of-sale terminals, the guest Wi-Fi, and all the payment gateways come together. You're at the controls of all of it.
Now, all that interconnectedness is great for efficiency, but it comes with a huge responsibility. Hotels are absolute treasure troves of sensitive data. We're talking passport numbers, credit card details, private corporate information, you name it. And that, of course, makes hotels a very, very attractive target for cybercriminals.
And this is exactly why you are the first and, I'd argue, the most important guardian of that data. So let's take a look at how these threats usually show up. Spoiler alert, they're almost always disguised as something perfectly normal.
An attack almost never looks like an attack. It often starts with something that seems totally routine, like an email that lands in your inbox, right in the middle of a chaotic check-in. You see words like urgent or immediate action required, and it's designed to make you act fast, maybe too fast.
What you're looking at here is a textbook example of a phishing attack. It's basically a con game. Attackers pretend to be someone you trust, a supplier, a bank, maybe even someone from corporate, to trick you into giving up information or clicking on a dangerous link.
So how can you spot the fake when you're under pressure? Well, the clues are in the details. A real request usually comes from an email address you recognize, it probably addresses you by name, and it will follow the procedures you already know. The attack, on the other hand, it thrives on urgency, generic greetings, and often has subtle mistakes, like a tiny misspelling in the email address. And the biggest red flag, it asks you to do something outside of the normal process.
Okay, so now that we know what to look for, how do you build up a solid defense? It doesn't actually start with complicated software. It starts with you and your everyday professional habits.
Believe it or not, your daily habits are the single most powerful cybersecurity tool your hotel has. We call this digital hygiene, and the name is perfect, because just like washing your hands prevents you from getting sick, these simple, regular actions are what protect the hotel's entire digital network.
So, what does good digital hygiene look like? It's these core habits. Verifying the sender of any email that seems a little off before you do anything. Not clicking on strange links. Using strong, different passwords for each system you use. Never, ever sharing your login details. And this last one is so simple but so important. Always locking your computer screen when you step away, even for a second.
But what happens if a threat gets through anyway? Even with the best habits, it can happen. And when it does, your actions in those first few moments are absolutely critical.
Let's go back to our scenario. You click the link in that urgent email, and now this alarming message flashes onto your screen. The attacker's goal here is simple: to make you panic.
While their goal is panic, your defense is process. This is where your training really kicks in. The first thing you do is report it. Don't wait. Call IT or your manager right away. Second, isolate the machine. Unplug that network cable to stop the threat from spreading. Third, and this is a tough one, resist the urge to try and fix it yourself. You could accidentally make things much worse. And finally, start documenting everything you can.
And why is documenting so important? Because every little piece of information is like gold for the response team. Note the exact time you saw the problem. Write down the error message verbatim. What was the very last thing you did? Were you in the middle of helping a guest? All of these details will help the experts figure out what happened and how to fix it, fast.
All right, let's move into the final stage, because once IT takes over the technical problem, your job isn't done, it just shifts. Now it's all about recovery and restoring trust.
While the tech team is working their magic, you pivot to keeping the hotel running. This is where being prepared for a system outage is key. You'll need to go back to basics: paper registration forms, handwritten logs, maybe even those old manual credit card imprinters. The goal is to keep service interruptions for the guests to an absolute minimum.
And throughout all of this, how you communicate is just as critical as what you do. Guests will know something is wrong. By staying calm, being clear and honest about the situation without causing a panic and just projecting confidence, you can reassure them and actually build trust, even when things are sideways behind the scenes.
At the end of the day, technology is only part of the solution. You can have the best firewalls and antivirus software in the world, but the human element is what truly defines a hotel's security. A front desk professional who is vigilant, disciplined, and informed, that person is the true guardian of the hotel's entire environment.
And that really brings us to the most important takeaway today, all wrapped up in a single question. In this digital age, is your front desk a vulnerability, or is it the hotel's strongest firewall? With the right awareness and the right habits, the answer is clear. You're not the weak link. You're the first and best line of defense.